All right, this is part 2. Not sure how much room I have on this, but I guess we'll find out. Thank you for tuning in, sharing in this now moment with myself and with one another. If you have not seen these videos before, welcome. Welcome back if you have. My intention is unity, oneness, the highest levels of love light. I just did a light language video. I'm going to go into a little flow. And let us not forget who we are. Let us not forget that that which binds us, that which we are bound to, is a boundless potential. There is no binding that can truly keep us from realizing our full potential once we fully embrace our higher aspect, our inner aspect. I'm hearing aspect ratio. Recognizing that you are already complete. You're already whole. You are, I'm seeing a creation, a black hole. This is not a negative thing. It's a creative aspect. For many have endured the rites of passage, so to speak. So many are writing their own passages. They are stepping out from just being passerbys, looker-ons, so to speak. For as more and more look within, as they recognize that they have the true power and capacity for a higher capacity, a higher ratio. I'm hearing Horatio, like that big storm. For within this knowing is the birthing process. The hatching, so to speak, the cross hatching, the weaving together, the renewable energy that is being found within the star seed network of humanity. For what it is that we are seeking has already been found. For we are lost and now I am found. Ashtak ua. I'm hearing we were lost and now we are found. For when we go within the chambers of the heart, we recognized how great thou art. As our ancestors have spoken before, time and time again, before these words, in this time, this sticks. The truth frequency, the language barriers, the barriers of perception, the barriers of what it is that we perceive as true or untrue, right or wrong, that which it is that we have screwed on so tightly wound, tightly bound, tightly kept within, keeping the lid on, so to speak, has popped the lid. We are removing, dissolving, resolving the inner conflict as we let go of the notion that we are being kept under some spell by some potion. For we are not that weak. We are not that which it is that we seek to speak in. So much I'm seeing very quickly. For that which it is that we speak into truth, into our reality, may oftentimes wreak havoc on our nervous system, wreak havoc on our knowing system, wreak havoc on our unitarianism. That's a play on words. Humanitarianism, unity consciousness. For as we allow ourselves to pop free, so to speak, of all the binds, of all the inconsistently cross-referencing that is taking place from the stories that we're seeking to bind, we are no longer confined by this archaeology. For it is ancient, it is old, and it is crumbling. We are more as we recognize that we are more, as we recognize there are more of us than not. We remember the truth of our true currency. We see through the current trajectory. We step up to the plate. We allow ourselves to dip into the plate tectonics, into the depths of inner earth, of inner knowing, of that which we have already birthed. And we have spoken of this time and time again. All of us, many of us in the now, are recognizing that we are coming together. So I'm hearing the word POW. Whenever I write POW, it's play on words. And I'm just recognizing that all of this is meant to be played with. And I'm hearing this symphonic, energetic bandwidth alignment is what we are playing in. All of the chaos and disruptive chords that have sunk in, so to speak, are sinking. They have been sunk. They are seeking out to be a refugee for you and me. They are seeking to enter our homes, our establishment, our established domains. If we are not firmly established in our domain, in our home base, in our own architecture, these chords of mass extinction, all play on words, seek to sink in and pull us down with them. This is a false set of codes. This is a false scrabbling network that is, scrambling network, scrabbling network that is scrabbling. I'm hearing like fighting. Scrambling to grab our attention. I'm seeing this is a play on words. Our attention span. With spam is what I'm hearing. We're getting spammed. We are bigger, stronger, deeper, beyond this whole sense of establishment. So I'm basically seeing, as I'm saying this, as a play on words, and if we're not established in our heart, and we don't have our home base frequency, it's easy to let these other things come in the back door, so to speak, and wiggle their way in, so to speak. They set up frequency barriers to try to pull us and distract us into separate accordances, to sign up, to sign an accord, to give away our freedom by agreeing to something that we are not knowingly choosing. So I'm seeing this as a reference to people are making choices to sign up, meaning they're like, yes, I'm signing on, like when you sign on to the internet or when you put in a password. And we're just being guided to recognize this is all a play on words. And guys, this isn't like negative, by the way. This is just showing that when we tune into a certain program, a show, a TV channel, a person, and we agree to follow, this is a play on words with social media, but follow that person, meaning allow them to lead us astray. And I'm hearing ashtray, like ashes to ashes. Like this has all been, it's all been smoke and mirrors. So we're just adding to the ashes, so to speak. And we're really being invited to, sorry, I just got distracted. Squirrel, beautiful plant. We're really being invited to recognize what it is we're signing up for. What are we signing up for? What are we sinking into? S-Y-N-C-I-N-G. What we sink into can cause us to sink. S-I-N-K. As we sink into these lower bandwidths, it pulls us in multiple directions. It pulls us in different into different chords, into different accords, and out of accordance with our true integrity, our true integral freedom of humanity. So I'm seeing it's all about the heart, the heart, the heart. So before we push play, before we allow ourselves to be played, before we open to that which has been played out, we are being invited to recognize that we are the orchestrators. We are being invited to step out of We are being invited to step out of self-doubt and to unify within. For when we are within our own unified structure, we dissolve all of these perceived barriers. We dissolve all of these units that are seeking to ununify, basically. And I see this as a reference to the golden ratio, the heart chords. And then we stay in these higher bandwidths, and what happens is that's the band that we're listening to, that's what we're playing to. I was being shown all of this flack, all of this like gibberish that's trying to make its way into our stream because it wants to be part of our stream. It wants to be created. It wants us to create with it. But we are being invited to remember that we are choosing to create from a new bandwidth. Yes, there is some of the old that we're pulling through, that we're pulling in, but this is not, we are choosing in our own sovereignty what it is that we are going to incorporate into our recipe, into our soup, so to speak. So who are we agreeing to? Who are we making agreements with? And I wanted to just share really briefly what I'm being shown is we can cancel, clear, delete those. We can remove, clear, dissolve those. And by us operating from our higher frequency of love and appreciation and gratitude, it doesn't allow those other frequencies to lock in, is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing the phase lock. So when you get into coherence and you're actually balanced, I think it's called, I think it's called phase conjugation. That's what Dan Winter calls it, or phase lock. So as long as we lock into that, we don't allow that those other things, they can't click into place. Oh boy. Okay, that's my sign that time is up. But the more we can stay in this, the longer we can stay in the long wave, the longer we can hold that frequency of obviously integrity, sovereignty, heart coherence, bliss, joy, compassion, letting go of the need to control others. And as we fall into this, stay in that space, it creates such a smooth pattern that anything that isn't, right, I'm hearing smooth operator. Anyways, anything that isn't, it can't stick. And it's trying to coerce, is what I'm hearing. It's trying to coerce its way in and say, I'll give you this if you give me that, or watch this and you might, it doesn't matter. Basically, it doesn't matter, because once we tune into it, it doesn't have the same effect on us. So getting out of fear, getting out of lack, getting out of a space of all of that, coming back into our own centeredness of I'm in this space now, I'm breathing, I'm in this body, connecting to Mother Earth, making choices to stay in that space. Doesn't mean we're always going to be in that space 24/7. We're human beings. But what's happening is more and more of us are unifying. As I was talking and playing in those words, I was seeing this unified field. And we're humans. And we are creating this. And it's literally a sound wave. It's a geometric language. It's energy. It's this network that's literally webbing out like fascia throughout all of the realities and matrix. And we are pulling with it some of the things that we wish to keep from the old reality. But we're really being invited to look back and say, what is it that's not going to fit in this? What is it that's trying to scramble or fry my centeredness? And if it is the news, or it's somebody else who always talks about the news, it's okay just to take a break, or to, not plug in, not sync up, not exchange that kind of information. We're just holding space. And those energies won't want to play in that space. So, in love and light, namaste.